Okay. Oh, you could bring my phone. Are you bringing my phone here? Yeah. Hello. Oh, I didn't have voice.
You had voice, but far away.
Oh, okay.
Now you have closer.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I was actually getting very concentrated just by doing this and wasn't talking anything. This is it. It looks pretty big to me. This is the continuation of the previous videos. We have one available right now in my Patreon. It's just pretty much the beginning of how I did the core. Which I had to fix later. That's why you always gotta take your time thinking about how to get started. Because I started the base wrong. The rod was too thin. You can talk. Baby, you can talk. Okay. He tried to give me indications in the ear and I can't hear him. I can't understand what he's saying. So that's not working like that. Might as well just do smoke signs, which I won't understand either.
Oh, guys, this is the new camera and the new lens. We have a new scene for you, too. So I'll let No describe the scene, and I'm going to get out of your hair.
Okay. I was thinking it would be a good idea. At least it's very nice for me. They'll be working on the greenhouse. It's a little part here in our garden where I have all my plants and everything I have been growing from seed this year. And my little pond. We need to upgrade that pond. To me, it's extremely relaxing. I just sat down here and I'm already enjoying it. This is wet clay. This is water-based clay. Not quite pottery, but very much similar to pottery clay. This is slightly different and a lot more. You can achieve more finer details here. That's probably the biggest difference with the compared to pottery clay. You can achieve a lot more finer details here in this wet clay. You need to work it while the clay is non-dry. You should not allow the clay to dry fully. This head, since I was working it, when was that? Was Saturday? I believe it was Saturday. I had it since Saturday. We started on a live presentation here in town. So I just cover it with a slightly damp paper towel and a paper plastic bag. So it's not super wet. When it's super wet and fresh, it's extremely soft and very pliable. Yes, it's perfect just to start adding the core and adding the most important shapes like I did right now. This is pretty much my very much of a base. I'm gonna cut. I'm drinking my kombucha. I'm going to cut. Oh well, if you took my tool. Jeez, I think he did took my tool. Flip, if you're watching this, I had a wire tool here. I thought I won't use it, but I am going to cut more clay here. It's pretty heavy. It weighs like dirt. And it comes in a block like this usually. I believe there is 20 or 10 pounds at least here. I'm going to fill up the hole. I just fixed the base. Oh, come on, open sesame. I just fixed the base because I used the wrong rod to hold it in place there. I used the wrong one. Luckily, I had another. You had a clay cutter? I had another set here just in case. You don't know where you put it? Bag?
Yeah.
What bag? I just put it behind.
That bag you had at the show. No, a white bag.
No, I just put it right now. I put it behind me. Well, it's gone.
Probably fell down.
I don't know. Luckily, I have another one. Oh, there it is. That.
Oh.
I had two just in case. And this one, I believe this is the one I made. Okay, this one you used to literally cut. This is the only way you can pretty much get this clay out of the package. And you just cut it in layers like that. And that's what I did before in how I booked this. We have a video of that too. I am not sure if that, I think it's going to be a content for Patreons only. The beginning of this sculpting process. Hello everybody, I cannot see any messages if we are live now, so I'm sorry. And Flip is kind of far away because I'm in my patio and in my garden here in the greenhouse. I decided that I wanted, so you see it's extremely soft. It smells and all feels like dirt. Okay, with this I hope it's gonna completely block it in here. Or at least I'm gonna let this lower part here dry a little bit. When I had to put my head to rest. Can't see, there we go. So this clay is cheaper compared to any other clays like Monster or especially polymer clay. So you're going to be making molds, you're going to reproduce your sculpture. Wet clay is recommended 100% because you can just pour silicone here and make a mold. And after the clay that dries hard, it usually will be disposed. You can't really save this clay. Although probably this time Flip is not going to let me trash it. So we might keep this head and let's see how far it goes on the drying time. There is different positions on that. Some artists recommend just to trash it. Do not let it dry because it could release dust, which this clay has silica. It could release silica dust and that's not good to be breathing on. I think that's the main reason why they don't recommend to preserve wet clay sculpture. Pretty much it's just to use it on the moment, and then you make the molds and that's it. End of the story. All right, that I hope it will be enough there. And with that I officially finish. Look, yeah, you're gonna notice this. Did you ever work with pottery clay? I think I did this back in my country when I was in elementary school, or I think even younger than that. I'm going to try to release the air out of here because remember this clay, air dries. So we kind of want to keep it sealed into a plastic bag, a plastic sealed container, so your clay is not going to dry on you. That would be horrible. I even do double bagging. I do the Ziploc that it came in, and I also do another bag on the outside. Just trying to avoid as much air as possible. Okay, here. Oh yeah, he brought me some water so I can keep rinsing my hands. Sometimes it kind of builds up on your skin and your fingers, and that's a little bit annoying. It's quite messy, I would say. Most likely all the fact of being all over the place. I did something a little bit smart here. So the fangs or the teeth, whatever you want to call it in this character, I made it with polymer clay. This is baked polymer clay. And I'm just going to make a little bed here. I was already getting it into shape, that part of the mouth, so it could receive the teeth. I'm going to shape it a little bit better there. I might have done this. No, they're fine. I just have to make it a little bit more here. I just have to fix this little holes. I have to make it a little bit more back there, so the pieces are gonna fit in here. Probably have to do the same thing here. I was watching the picture of the character, the Ludo, at the beginning when I was mapping my sculpture, but I'm not trying to make a replica. This is just a fan art inspired by. So I'm not trying to make a replica, definitely. I'm trying to give it a little bit. How about if we also either lift here a little bit like that? That was too much. I could either lift it or I could smash it down a little bit there. In a way that there we go. That's a lot more fitting. That would be something I will recommend you to do. It's just easier. And later on, when I'm done with the sculpture, my fans are bigger than the ones on the character. But like I said, I'm not doing a replica. I'm doing very much my own take on the character after just mapping something similar to what he is. But I am not doing a replica. After, when everything is done, I'm going to remove the teeth, and most likely we'll mold this separated, and then I glue it back there. I like to do that in these little small places. Also the ears, also the horns, because sometimes it will be more convenient doing things like that, you know. That just to help you with the mold making process. So right now the this clay is a little bit being sitting down. The wet clay, this is the part when it will allow you to do as much details. It's pretty amazing actually if you really know how to work with this clay. I did watch a class in the Stan Winston School. Because I could never believe how much details can be achieved in just a dirt clay. I thought it was just like a pottery clay. And you can't really achieve that much in pottery clay, to be honest. More than when you're doing jars and some a little bit of a like garden sculptures and something a little bit more basic, you know. Like right now, he probably looks like a garden sculpture. He's in that basic stage, I would say, the basic state. So fingers, rakes, most kind of sculpting tools will work here with wet clay. You can rake, you can chop, you can cut, I don't know, you can hear the hummingbirds. When there gets too many around, especially the boys, they will fight. They will fight on the air. I kind of found, I'm kind of find my principal wrinkles, I will say. And I did that when the clay was a bit more, oh, this is lemon eucalyptus, which smells a lot like citronella, according to Flip. And I did not know he hates that smell. Well, I love how this smells. And plus, I put some cinnamon oil in here too, and lemon eucalyptus oil is great to repel mosquitoes. If you're trying to naturally repel mosquitoes, I have tried everything when I was living back in California. The last years I was living there, my garden was infested with mosquitoes. There was no winter that got rid of them, and I got badly bite, and my bites would turn into big blisters. I became pretty allergic, I will say. Those mosquitoes were something else, huh? And we had them all year long. And you know, wearing toxic repellent in your skin is not always a good idea. So I did a little research and tried to find what kind of a natural options I might have. And then I found the citronella pretty much smells like this exactly. Lemon eucalyptus is called. It smells like citronella. But believe me, that was the only thing, natural stuff that worked for me. Okay. Gotta find the way. I'm going to try, I haven't worked in wet clay in a long time. So I'm trying all my tools. Kind of when you don't do something, you could pretty much forget about it. So you gotta make sure to keep your brain always in activity. And right now, pretty much it's coming back to me, thank God. Little by little. But I did remember that most of the tools that we use for clays like Shaband and Monster, most of those tools can be used here in wet clay. Wet sounds like wet, no? It's W-E-D, W-W-E-D, with, no wet. Rake tools, the famous camper tools. All of that is a go when you're working here. Maybe I will be free to say there is all a matter of the consistency of the clay. Like you need to let it sit. You need to let it dry a little bit, see, before you start doing more complex finer details. Yeah, there you go. There's the word. And sometimes, like I'm trying to get inside there, I'm going to need a brush for that. Sometimes you need to get your clay wet again. Yeah, you need to get the clay wet again. I'm going to use a brush. I'm trying to fine tune inside here where I put the teeth. For that, I'm going to have to get the clay a little bit wet because I don't want to leave those ugly markings on there. I can also smooth it down a little bit. Be careful because at this point the clay is easily meltable. You can this is water based, you know, and you can melt it with water literally. So in certain cases, and smoothing might be challenging here. but not quite. You need to know what you're doing. Also, it's the pressure that you put and the brush and all. It's just like a slightly pressure there. I do like the smell of the citronella or this lemon eucalyptus, but I think Flip is even allergic. There is such thing. You could be allergic to an oil. That is a possibility. Okay, I don't want this too wet. I actually was washing off the clay from the brush. Okay. If you're making a character like this, then it takes a lot of wrinkles and pores and skin texture. There's actually a great clay for it. It will help you doing all that. Oh, I forgot a makeup brush. I also need a makeup brush. I can pretty much get it very even with just a brush like this. I was trying to do a little bit of a rake on the back. This is just a sponge brush to try to make this surface on the backs even. I'm not really much concerned about the back. At least in my character, you don't see the back of the head in my characters because I put fur in there, you know? If you are familiar with my werewolves, the cuddle werewolves and my goats, the satyrs, I don't really worry about the back because you won't be able to see it at all. But at least, you know, try to make something professional here. And also my OCD. I don't want to leave it all ugly looking on the back. So at least I'm going to leave it a little bit decent there. It's a process. Really, it's a serious process when you work with this type of clay. You need to wait. You need to have a little bit of a patience, letting it has to kind of cure or dry a little bit. I am on the detailing process already, on the detailing step. If I need something more abrasive than this, it's doing a great job on the top here, which I was raking also this surface to try to make it a little bit more nice and even. I use the rake tool. I didn't do that down below. Down below is a little bit very bumpy. For that rough areas, we can use stipple sponges. Stipple sponges come in a variety of thickness and hardness and textures. I believe it's for sure medium and fine. This is used for the special effect makeup industry for making a skin texture when you're painting and doing face painting, body painting like that. We all learned that in the special effect makeup school. These are always the good to go. So if I'm trying to scrape more or remove, the surface is very uneven. That's what I do, because that's what it's doing. It's removing clay to make it all nice and even surface. I think that's good enough there. A bowl of water is when I needed when I was doing the live presentation. Okay, now I can go back to my soft sponge, but I'm gonna wash it still. Yeah, I will be washing it on the sink, but I don't have a sink here. Oh my god, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. This is gonna come and just finish smoothing the surface and the beautiful. Probably can't see much because it's underground, but I can see it. All right, now that back right there is decently good. I should be doing something else with the area of the horns. I'm gonna give it a better shape. Let me try to straighten up everything. And also this is slightly moistening the surface. Just a little bit. I don't want to dump it up and super get it wet. You can also add moisture here by doing a spray. This is just water. Spray there, and you are completely add moisture to the clay. Which I'm always doing that here and there because I don't want it to let it fully dry on me. I don't. Even when the sculpture is done, I will cover it with paper towels, moist, damp paper towels, and the back. Even if I am done with the sculpture. If I am not ready to do the molds right away, I will still keep it pliable. I will still keep it wet, you know. Right now, I want to fix the area of the horns because it's, right now, as you can see, it's just bulked it out. It's not really on the right shape. Plus, I would like to do a little bit more texture in there and maybe wrinkles around or something. While I'm letting the face to dry a little bit so I can work in details. You cannot work finer details when the clay is super soft and wet. You need to let it air a little bit. Oh, my fishies. I've been sad because the last snake that I lived here, I left it here. It was a little one. We took away 3 and rehomed them on the wild. The last one, it was here around. I call it Willie. I haven't seen it in a few days, in a couple of days, I will say. I was a little sad about that. Okay. Let's make these holes. The ears won't be made in place. The ears will be made separately. I'm not sure if it will be wet. The part is going to be monster clay. The ears. Well, the ears too, huh? The horns in this case. The horns will be made in separate to begin with. And maybe also will be made in a different type of material, not wet. We'll see. Maybe I will make it in wet. We'll see. Right now I just want to give it a more realistic kind of shape. Even though these areas like this is a little bit of a shame because you won't be able to really see it. It's going to be covered in hair. It has a thick hair in these areas. But still, it has to be detailed and well done. That's just part of my job here. So definitely we can use rakes here. That is a yes, you can use rakes in wet clay. I'm going to grab these little pieces of chunks that is coming out of here, and I'm just going to reuse it here to reshape this opening. Because you can totally... Where's my other tool? Orale, what? You can totally do that here. I have some tools that I specifically use in wet clay. And there is some of the finer detailed tools that I share it with a little bit more water to help it going. I share it with monster clay and a little bit with polymer clay. Polymer clay, I always try to keep it all of them together, but sadly I still share with other clays. This is one of those clays also that you can sort of have a you can revive if you get it wet again. I'm not sure if pottery clay works the same way. I'm not sure about that one, but in these clays I noticed you can pretty much get it back if you get it wet on time. When it's fully dry, I haven't tried, but it might work too. A little bit of water. Good thing about this clay, it's soft and you don't have to knead it, you don't have to condition it, you don't have to do anything, you just use it straight out of the package, which that could be a little bit of a process when we're working with a polymer or monster shebang clay. You definitely have to warm those clays up. Polymer has to be warm by hand. You can't just use it straight out of the package. Sometimes you can't even use that color, the one color. I always ended up mixing colors in polymer. I can't really use the one clay, the one color that comes in. Oh, I thought a flip was coming, and flip was coming. Okay, there is a little shape on here. Okay, it was like too flat and just a bowl. So now I add some shape on there. What happened? Oh, comments. Yeah. Yeah, I can see any comments. Sorry. Sorry. Ah, Patricia. Good, you're doing something with your life, man.
She doesn't want to be around the snakes.
Oh, no, the snakes are, no, he's gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
We haven't seen him. Maybe because it was a little cold around here.
Yeah, we get 2.5 weeks of 80-degree temperature, then they're gone.
Yeah, it was very hot last week. Very hot, like 80 degrees. Here too, I'm going to try to fix it a little bit like that. This is like just it looks like an egg. I need to give it a little bit more shape. Wow, 68. I was wearing shorts and tank tops and all. Right now I'm back to my long shirts and pants. Womp, womp, womp. But yeah, it was hot. Okay, let's give it a little wrinkle or curve or whatever you want to call it here. Don't move because I'm getting ready to start working on the wrinkles and more face features. At the moment, I am not looking at the picture anymore. I just wanted to achieve the basic concept, the basic shape of the character. Now I'm pretty much like to be on my own and do my own thing. Recommended to do when you do fan art. You don't really want to make a replica. You just want to take the character as an inspiration. You know. I think this part. Oh yeah, this is a little bit more. There's a little bit misway. You just want to use the character. You see, I make a boo boo back, and that's all. It's easier also clay to fix than other clays. You don't need to add any kind of a special glue. If you want to add more clay, it's just water. You just wet the clay, and if the clay is fresh, you don't even have to wet anything. It will just instantly get attached to it. It's quite And also, well, at least in my case, I am able also to work faster. I did this whole, the head and the bulking and everything. I believe in, oh, he's gone. I, I believe we did it in 2 hours in that presentation that we have here in town. Now probably doing the details, it will take me a little bit because this takes more brain power. But also it helps that the clay is so soft and pliable. It's just there, you know. I don't need to knead, I don't need to warm it. I don't need to heat it up, I don't need to melt it, you know, it's just there. A little bit more, I'm gonna enhance this kind of sort of like a wrinkle there. I like to do, when I do horns, I always like to do at least 2 main big thick wrinkles on there. Because you gotta think wrinkles or some kind of a skull shape also. You gotta think that the horns are connected or coming out of the skull. So it's not just like you're gluing a piece of thing on there. It's all connected, and you have to think that it has some roots, you know? The horns have some roots that go deep into the skull there, or they're actually growing out of the skull. You have to think that in a way, replicate it in a way that it will look organic, you know? Like I always say, like I always mention, look for the real pictures. You can look up for sure cows, bulls. For horns, you will look into that kind of animals, goats, all the animals that have horns, and you will see sometimes they even have bumps right after the horn, depending what animal is. Always try to look at nature. Always try to replicate something that is exists in real life. Nothing's going to teach you more than that. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna go crazy with that. Where's my sponge? Oh yeah, you can do dragon skin here. You can do any kind of silicone. I'm smoothing it with my sponge, my very fine sponge. I'm smoothing it. You can do any kind of silicone here. You need to seal it. You need to spray seal it very slightly coat, just with a transparent varnish, matte. It will be recommended. Don't do glossy. Don't do glossy varnish. Do a matte. Just a slightly spray of a matte, clear varnish, and that's all you need. Then you let it dry a little bit from that, and then you just brush it or mold it in any way you want to do it. Yeah, that's how it's done. I believe it takes, for sure it takes platinum silicone, so dragon skin. As long as you seal it, you need to seal it. Transparent matte varnish. Like I said, this clay is recommended for bigger, larger sculptures. Okay, this will be very expensive to make in polymer clay, for example. This size of a sculpture, that will be pretty expensive. And wet clay is certainly kind of cheap. Okay, there. I'm just smoothing, which is helping also reshape my folds on there. Always follow the shape of the fold or the wing or the wrinkle. Follow the shape when you're smoothing. Follow the shape. Follow the shape when you're going. You see this way. Don't go the opposite way, really. because you're trying to clean that shape that you created on there. Okay, there. I think it looks more appropriate now. And like I said, the ears and the horns, I'm going to make it separate. I'm not going to make it on the head. All right. Get a little wash on my hands. Flip, bringing this bowl was a great idea, by the way. Another point there. I need to find a tool to clean inside there. Let me see. Clean here, clean inside here without disturbing everything else in there. I was doing this guy. Let me get it a little dry. It's kind of hard doing this without destroying everything that is around. Just have to have the steady hands, I will say. Alright, it's working. Now that the clay has been sitting down a little bit, remember I moistened before? And then it was sitting down to dry a little bit. It allows you to work better. You need to let it settle down or dry out a little bit. And clean your brush. You will immediately get a buildup of material on there. Clean the brush. Softly. This side is not that bad actually. It's almost there. Okay, for this one, I can always remove because this is polymer clay, okay? You see there was a big deformity here. I wanted to blend that in. But of course the teeth was in there, so it wasn't going to allow me to do anything. I'm also going to take advantage to smooth down around here. All the way around. There we go. Okay, now I put this back. Like I said, I'm even going to remove this to make the mold. I'm going to remove the teeth and do it separately. You can always glue pieces with, I'm going to do this in silicone. You can always glue pieces back. So that's not a big deal there really. There we go. Patty, did you watch the movie? Did you watch the movie already? Let us know. She has never watched a Labyrinth or Star Wars. Somebody has to help Patty. Okay, there. I'm going to wash my brush. I don't want it to be that wet, so I'm going to try to dry it a little bit here. Good Lord. I keep telling you, oh, I'm going to wash this too. You don't want to let these things get dry. Remember, what is bad from this clay is the powder. When something gets dry, especially the sponges, it's going to release the powder, and the clay contains silica. So you don't want to be making powder with this clay. So every time you remember, wash everything that could cause, oh, this one's washed already. To build up a powder with, that's the only thing. There is silica and something else in this clay that makes it a bit more pliable compared to dirt clay, compared to pottery clay. Okay, a little bit, like I said, working in little bitsy details. That for sure will be the nostrils. Up to this point, this clay is going to feel a lot like monster clay, with the difference of being softer, okay? So be gentle when you're striking with your tools. But at this point is rakes, pretty much rake to shape up and to texture, to add texture, and all of that is all rakes and Kemper tools, I will say. Right now I have a Kemper tool here. Oh, you see the same thing as monster, always clean. Did you breathe? Wait, still here. Clean the debris. Clean the debris. Debris. Oh yeah, we made. That's because we made you watch it. I don't know. It was something going on public television when we were in North Carolina at the hotel, and they were playing Star Wars at the hotel in the public television. So we got Patty watching a little bit of Star Wars. For two nerds like me and Michelle, it was actually exciting watching somebody watching Star Wars for the first time. Good times, good times. Again, raking. What? I can barely hear you, baby. I don't know, it's just a melting. But he was telling me that this is a sound of the fountain of the goldfish. It makes you want to go pee. I guess it's just a melting because I'm okay. To me, it's relaxing. It might have been just a melting, I guess. Where's the little bit? Oh, here. All right. I'm trying not to cover your view, but also I'm trying to see what the heck I'm doing here. Yeah, always when you see somebody showing sculpting in camera, you gotta give them credit because we need to accommodate ourselves in order to be able to show this in camera. Because I would like to be just like this, you know? In my comfort zone. And I'm going to be recording this whole process, so I'm just ready for what it comes. Yeah, that's the good thing of those shows. You get all together with your friends and all. You can also do finger, yes. Whatever your finger it fits, you can also use it to smooth, okay? If it fits, it fits. I'm going to enhance this nose by drawing a little wrinkle here. That might not be part of the character, but that's just my, you okay? My own touch. Yeah, I know, I seen it. Yeah, I wasn't able to see anything before until he brought me my phone. Sorry. Like I said, I think the fountain sounds is just relaxing. That's all that I had to say. I'm gonna have to get closer here, I'm sorry. Aha! These two sides of the nostrils were different. Remember to seeing the character from all the angles, so you will be able to tell. In this case, I can also stand. For sure, I can stand here. I'm gonna have to take it this way a little bit. Flip! Oh well. Naturally, we're going out of light. I'm gonna need light on this side. I'm losing vision. I don't know if it shows clear for you guys over there, but for me, I'm losing light in this side. I don't know if Flip is at the computer right now, listening my pain and suffering. So sorry, I'm gonna have to turn it to the other side a little bit. Okay, just a little bit there. Then there's another big wrinkle, was that one. Kind of like right on the... All the nose have wrinkles on there. One after other. Yeah, the little details is where you're spending more time. I don't think Philip is watching. Okay, I could do that, and then remember my sponge is slightly damp, slightly wet. That's gonna smooth it down, okay? Then the next wrinkle, it's coming around here. This video is going to stay here on the channel for all of you guys to watch, okay? It's gonna be a free video. I'm gonna help with this a little bit more, and then I'm gonna do the sponge. So right now I'm trying to enhance and detail even better the wrinkles that I have marked on there. There's so many characters in that show, and they're kind of cute actually, the little gnomes. How many people this movie have probably inspired through these 40 years since it was released? Being handsome and the frauds involved 100% in the creation of the characters and the Muppets and the puppets. The Muppets! The puppets used in the movie. That alone there is magical. Oh, I already have a kid, a vinyl kid, that I think it looks like Toby. He is an elf actually, the kid has elf ears. I'm going to show it to Flip. I think it's called Fling or something. He's an elf. He's a vinyl kid. I'm going to show it to Flip. If he says yes, I'm going to paint it and do the hair and all, and then dress him up as Toby, because we're going to be doing the whole dress up and everything of Labyrinth for our Monsterpalooza now in October. That's why, since now I'm starting to slowly working in some characters. I don't know how good is showing there. Don't let this WED sculpture go for too many days unattended, okay? Or at least try to keep changing. You're gonna see me covering with wet or damp paper towels. At least you're gonna leave it for a while, like at least a week, a couple weeks. I will keep changing the paper towels. Don't let the clay dry, fully dry. The mold making process and all of that, it happens when the clay is kind of like that, actually, when it's still wet. Okay, don't ask me why. That's what I learned in school, and I forgot why. There's a reason why you don't let the clay dry. You work it like it is, it's wet. But even in the makeup school that I went, it's the same. You use it when the clay is wet. That's why you seal it. That's why you varnish it. So the silicone, it won't react with that. Okay, these parts on here are probably the most little bitsy delicate there, and I'm trying not to even breathe. I'm trying not. You know, little parts like that require a lot of precision. Okay. Yeah, I think the light is killing me right now, no? We might have to pass this inside. Yeah, right now I'm already seeing double. This side for sure is getting very dark. The light is right here. And if I'm working in this eye, of course I'm going to be a little bit having troubles on there. Let me see this eye. Whoa. Carajo, flip was scaring me. Yeah, you're right, Patty. I do scare easily. During the trip, my friend Michelle scared me twice, and she didn't even want to scare me. That was very funny. Babe, I'm losing vision on this side because it's dark. And I don't know, it probably doesn't look good on the video either.
It looks great in the video.
Son of a, okay. For me, I can't see in this side.
I'll get you another light.
If it's possible? Okay. You see, I can see better on this side because I had the light right on here. But here, it's okay. At the first and the beginning, when I tried to play with this clay, the same thing happened with monster clay, okay? I got very frustrated because I was like, what the heck of a freaking stupid clay is this when you can't do anything? It's just like pottery clay, blah, blah, blah. So I had to end up taking a class because like the first rule, you cannot do the whole thing, the whole details when the clay is very soft. You need to let it dry a little bit. And that was my frustration. I tried to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and the clay was wet. And when I slightly touch it with my tool will sink in, with dig holes. I had to do it very carefully or something like that, but it wasn't giving me the results that I wanted, and I got frustrated. When things like that happen and you're using a new material, I guess it's time to give up and take a class. That's what I ended up doing. And then I was amazed that everything has a process. Gotta be patient. Let it do his thing. Wait. Gotta wait. There's a whole process going on, like everything else for sure. I'm just too used to polymer clay. Everything goes fast, and not fast, everything goes in once pretty much, at once. You can do everything at once. You just stop after you bake, and then you have to sand and carve and fix some boo-boos on the clay. But here, no. This one in Chaband, or Chaband is a little bit more different, I will say. Monster clay is probably more similar feeling than polymer clay. Chaband is kind of like a little bit more stickier clay. It gets a little bit sticky, but it also has their own. Each clay has their own tray. That is for sure. And hopefully this video is helping you a little bit. See, the following chapters, it will be shared only for my patrons, so they will be able to see a little bit more in depth. This tool is being used as carving tool right now. See? Always remember to keep cleaning the buggers and debris here. Oh yeah, it's also getting cold, no? A little bit. So you could get a closer view with the camera, no?
Nope.
No? What do you mean no?
Oh, my back.
Are you talking about your cat, Patty? The monkey is hungry, she said. Is hungry or hungry? Yeah, because for classes and that kind of teenies, we need closer views.
Oh, well, that one. I have my other.
This one looks good like a presentation overview, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, I just have to put my other lens on.
Ay, ¿qué fue?
You're fine.
Oh no.
Oh, you're dropping stuff in there.
The wind.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't happening.
No? Right. To me, it's very nice working here, but it has its challenges. I'm working on my patio on the greenhouse.
It's fun though.
Okay, for example, I'm doing that and probably they can't see it. Definitely can't see it because it's on the other side.
Yeah, look, we also.
This tool is from the class with Wayne Anderson, the greatest sculptor. And I don't remember how to use it. I believe was to mark or do the... Ah, okay.
How's that?
It kind of creates irregular... wrinkles on there. Let me see. This is a handmade tool, by the way. Oh, all right. I mark it at least. I think I did record videos of the... What is that? Oh, scusi. Oh my god. I'm like, well, what is that white thing on the fence?
That's your crazy dog.
Is our cozy. That's kind of cool, huh? Kind of sort of trying to remember. That was an amazing class also. I think my cat that I made on that class with Wayne, I will be making a silicone bust at least. It's like a cat god or something that I made on that class. You might have seen that.
How's the video and the audio, everybody? Even with the wind blowing.
Patty said it sucked. Right now the wind is blowing though. It wasn't blowing before. Ooh.
It sucks because of the angle,
Oh, no. It's a joke.
or-
It sucked that I was getting blind by the
I can maybe.
by
move
the
camera a little bit
darkness.
if you don't want. Just know you're gonna have to watch your foot. If I do.
Oui. Ah, that doesn't sound good.
You can turn the camera and move at it. There you go. Let me see.
I think I got good a good pattern of like irregular wrinkles with this tool here.
Let me see.
If I was making this character in a bigger version, I was going to go hard on the texture, on the skin texture. That was my goal. Okay, here too. We also have, this is a more, I believe this is, it said there, a scratch wire brush. It said it on the, so is what it does exactly. It scratches. Also to create a texture. You probably will be more aggressive if you are working in a monster clay. But here I'm going very gentle, very softly. It is 100% to create a texture, skin texture, okay? I'm going to go over the ones that I did here. Always follow the pattern. That looks better.
Okay.
Always follow the pattern or your previous wrinkles.
Yeah, I'm more focused in on the face than on the
Yeah. Probably here and there. Go besides your wrinkles there. I believe you can use this tool in polymer clay too. I haven't tried though. I wanted to try it when I was doing when I was starting to make gnomes in polymer clay. I'm gonna go exaggerate here because this part won't be seen. Pretty much the top is gonna have a hair, so but I'm just playing around, also practicing. I haven't worked in this clay in a while. Okay, I need something like this. This is a, oh my gosh, this brush has a name. And right now I cannot remember it. I'm removing a little bit of the boogers. Just slightly there. You can still see the wrinkles on there. And this brush also creates, it's a little bit rough, so it also creates micro textures there. Okay, this one is a lot. This is a, oh more. That's what we don't want. We don't want the I forgot to wash my brush. We don't want those powders. I told you before. And I just did it. Good Lord. This is the one that at least I use for doing stamps. It's not a stamp. It's stencil. To do a stencil. This is a bit more of a harder bristle. So the same thing, follow the patterns, okay? Follow the patterns of the wrinkles. Follow the pattern, follow the pattern. You could be a little bit more aggressive with this. Okay, the sponge. This one is kind of gonna melt down the heavy markings of your tools. But try to melt it in place and in shape, you know? And if you go back to the beginning of this video, you will notice the big difference. It's taking now a nice, more, I will say realistic shape, realistic look. Oh, we're also trying to do a get together with my girlfriends to make one character from this movie, from Labyrinth. But that will be like a challenge sculpting. That's why Patty has to watch the movie because she needs to have some kind of a inspiration. I believe we're planning that for the August. It was the 7th. It hasn't been Rotten Stones yet. We're still trying to coordinate that with the president of the Polymer Clay Art Guild, Art Dolls Guild. I'm still trying to coordinate with her. But it's going to be like an online get to go, just with a few friends, and it's a free event. You will be able to see each one making their own creation, and then you will have the chance to vote. I wanted to talk with the Schiffler brothers this time to be a judge, because we always pick a winner in the end. But we'll see who it goes. We're still thinking about it. We're still trying to coordinate. We have an estimated date, so we'll see. Also, the one that I was doing here, also I'm trying to. It's amazing how as the clay dries, it actually lets you add more and more details without leaving it to fully dry. I don't ever leave it to fully dry, because I don't think I'm gonna be finishing today. So I'm gonna have it covered again with the paper towels and a plastic bag. Yeah, definitely the light is not helping. Well, it's night, you know. And we're here in the garden, trying to catch the fairies because they come at night. We got hummingbirds fighting over water and flowers. I don't have my snake, but my fishes are still there. The water running, the wind flowing. All my baby plants all over the place. It's good, it's really good. Life is good. Yes, when you pound the sponge like this, it also adds texture. Okay, there are some areas here that the sponge wasn't able to reach. So I'm gonna go with a brush. I'm just kind of blending and softening the heavy markings that I left with my previous tools, because the wrinkles are wrinkles, but they're not marks, you know, that they're not mark tools on there. It has to look naturally flowy. I don't know, you can hear the little birds. We have, they were not ravens, they were crowns, actually. Oh my gosh, making noises of crazy women. They were just wah, 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 ah, ah, you know, screaming. They kind of have gone away, I think, but that was kind of funny. Because out of the nowhere we would hear wah, wah, and it was the crow. I think we do have ravens here, but those were crowns. We saw them making those weird noises back on the hill there. I don't know if they fight or what is their pickle, but just making weird noises. Still the same, still the same. Still doing the same. Like I said, you can also put fingers on. I'm seeing like little holes. That's something, reaction natural from the clay, from the pottery clay, like clay. So you don't want that. So I'm trying to close in those little holes. Air pockets. Air pockets is the story of everybody using clay. Air pockets is the story of our lives when using clay. You're always going to, all kind of a clay is going to always collect air pockets. Let's see here. Now I can moist my brush too. I'm trying to get deep in there where I wasn't able to get before. And you see, when you moist it again, when you dampen like that, you completely and absolutely re-moist the clay to the puddle stage. You can totally do that. So you can melt something. If you're planning on like melting it, some kind of a part, you just re-moist it with water. Wait, was that a mosquito? You know, the mosquitoes finally are trying to get me after all these months. I have been using their babies to feed my fish. And they finally started biting me, I guess. They learned who I was. That's why I was trying to wear some natural repellent here. But I don't think Flip likes that smell. It's just oils. Lemon eucalyptus. It had worked very well for me to repel, naturally repel mosquitoes. No, the crows were not here. It's another kind of a birdie doing the nightly singing thingy. Oh, those crows are very funny. Okay. I think I just put my face on the screen. I wanted to see where the light is. Oh, my eye. I left the light directly. Everything down here is getting pretty dry, which allows me to come back and keep smoothing things nicely. Inside the mouth especially. It keeps getting drier and drier as time goes by. Okay, let's have a nice whoa, okay. I could not see that. I couldn't see what I'm doing here. There, let's have a nice review right now, because the light is completely out there, and I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up for tonight. So that's how he's looking with the majors. And I lost my comments. Oh, here? Nope. Oh, here. There. Okay. That's all for now, I guess. I fixed the horns. I smoothed the back, which it won't be seeing. Anyway, it won't be seeing, yeah. I work on a little bit more of the details on the face. I add the teeth. More fine tuning. Yeah, more fine tuning it needs to be done. Okay, but I don't want to let this dry. So this is how I'm going to put it away. Just to have the paper towels. I'm going to moist the paper towels. Okay. Then I'm going to, it's okay, polymer staying there, no problem. The polymer is cured, so there's not a big deal with that. Cover it with that, softly, gently. I think I'm gonna make it to the hair too. A little bit more moist on here. Oh, I see the mosquitoes. No! Yeah, I gotta go. Definitely gotta go. Okay, moist it there. Pretty much there. I believe I do have more, another tutorial showing how to work with monster clay in my Patreon. It's a whole video, I believe. For the patrons, I'm going to be linking that down in the comments. All right, there you go. The following videos, I think it will be for the patrons too, so we'll see. And then a plastic bag. And I don't know if Flip is there. Flip! We're almost over. I'm closing down already. And try just avoid getting air on there. Not completely and absolutely sealed, but just try to avoid getting air on there. What do you say? Bye! Thank you for watching. Okay, there we go. See ya later.